can always tell it's the first show, can't you? We stuff that intro up every single time. I know you're like, what? Yeah, welcome to the beginning of another series based upon the Marvel Studio Disney Plus content they're putting out at the moment. And this one is an interesting one. We've so far, to backtrack, we've done WandaVision, we've done Falcon and the Winter Soldier,
Loki,
we've done Loki, and now they've come out with What If, which is an animated series, Rick. And you were just telling me before the show, I wasn't sure how many episodes there were, but in this first season, Rick, 9 episodes.
9.
Yeah, 9. Now, there are 2 seasons already done, I believe, but they're breaking them up into 9 episodes, you were saying.
Yep. That's what I read, so which is good.
Which is really great. That's wonderful. Yeah, sorry, mate.
No, yeah, you're right. Yeah, go.
Right.
You're right, dude. You're right.
Look, they're breaking up. Look, it's a different way to go. Animation for them. When I first heard of this series, I thought, okay, this is kind of like, this is not really canon stuff. This is just going to be one-off, kind of not really related to the MCU, just kind of thing. But my opinion on that completely changed from the end of Loki. Because as they established in the last episode of Loki, they now there's a multiverse. Like things are fractured. There are just multiple, infinite, different realities out there. And now, because of that, these episodes of What If, which is around that, with kind of what if this certain thing had changed with this character, and now we get to see it play out, and technically it is canon. It is part of the MCU because these stories are just happening in different timelines. So I think that's something really cool and different for Marvel to go down, you know? What do you think, Rick?
I'm a big animated fan. I absolutely love a good animated series. And this What If has been around since the 70s. In the 70s. 77 is when the first comic came out, What If. And it was What If Spider-Man had joined Fantastic Four. So it's a great concept, and to put it into place and to actually combine it with the MCU and everything together is just fantastic. And I really just love the idea and concept. So Look, to be honest with you, Marvel has not had a great track record when it comes to animation, in my opinion. If you actually look at the DC animated universe they've created and cultivated over the last almost 20 years, that's far superior. So I was obviously very interested going into this, what kind of quality level we were getting. And hasten to say, it's a very good quality show. I would say that when I still, what's going on there? Just come out. There's technical difficulties all the way around. We took a break, didn't we? We took a break. Sorry, guys. We took a break.
What I was trying to say is coming into this, I was a bit hesitant. And like I said, pleasantly surprised, though I was quite jarred in the beginning watching this. It took me a minute to kind of get into the flow of it because I'm not used to seeing Marvel Studios content animated as such, you know. But I will say, after going through it, after the first 1 or 2 minutes, I really got into the spirit of what this episode was all about and really dug where they went. And, thoroughly enjoyed the episodes as a standalone little kind of story, you know. And what helps a lot too is the voice cast, Rick. Great voice cast.
Yes, which is pretty well. Not everyone has come back, but
no, there would be 2 most notable outs in this. I mean, Rick, let's make the point. What we're trying to say is everyone is doing their voice.
Everyone is
in
doing
the show,
voice.
Bar a couple, and the couple other big 2. It's Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans are not in it. But literally everyone else, plus some really great talented additions, are in this cast, Rick. Such as, let's have a look at some of the cast. Jeffrey Wright, most notably playing the Watcher, doing the voice of the Watcher. He has such a distinct voice, though.
So good.
Haley Atwell as Peggy Carter, and you know what? Watching the episode, it was so noticeable that it was her voice and her personality, and I don't think they could have got anyone else.
No,
the guy that they did get to do, skinny Steve Rogers, Josh Keaton, and I thought he did a serviceable job.
I think he nailed it. I think he could.
Yeah, he didn't take me out of it. I didn't feel like it was a problem. Nick Fury, if you believe it or not, Nick Fury actually, it was his voice in that episode. It was Samuel Jackson, Jeremy Renner. Yeah, it was Clint Barton in that. And if you remember, he had one line in that episode.
At the end.
One line. And getting, Jeremy Renner to do it. Stanley Tucci returned as Dr. Abraham Erskine. Dominic Cooper playing Howard
was
Stark.
good, Dominic Cooper.
He was a lot more fun.
I loved
this
it.
version of Howard Stark was a lot more fun. Bradley Whitford, who's not really been in the movies, but is an incredible actor. He's got a long history of movies and TV shows, most notably West Wing. He was absolutely phenomenal playing the Colonel. Jonathan Schmidt, so he's placing Ross McQuan was doing Red Skull. So there's your third one you missed out on. Your third one, which was who was it? Yeah, bad guy from the Matrix. I've forgotten. He's an Australian actor. We all love him, but he's not playing Red Skull. But he wasn't in Endgame either. But even the guy that did Dum Dum Dugan in Captain America, the First Avenger, he was back. And Sebastian Stan returning as Bucky Barnes.
And I thought
Toby Jones as Arnim Zola.
Toby Jones was good. He was awesome. Yeah. I thought Sebastian was maybe a little bit off key. It just wasn't. It didn't seem like
Well, okay, all right.
But that was the only thing. But perfect guy.
But there's your cast, Rick. At least there's your cast. So, phenomenal cast, and the episode. What it does, it kind of I found in this first episode. Right at the beginning of the episode, we get obviously an explanation of how this episode works. What's the rules of the show, which the Watcher explained.
The Watcher,
and he talks about one specific moment. That one specific moment can change everything, which it does, And we lead into the storyline of Peggy Carter basically picking up the mantle and becoming Captain Carter.
Captain Carter, yeah.
Captain Carter. A lot of fun concept, and she really pulled it off. Like I think the strength of the episode does come down to Haley Atwell's performance. Yeah, like coming back and doing that, and just phenomenal. I mean, like we're not going to break through this episode bit by bit, Rick. I'm not going to do this, but I do want to mention one of my favorite parts of the episode. Of course, this is spoilers. Is the fact that we get Steve Rogers getting into an Iron Man suit. Which is powered by the Tesseract, which we've never seen in the movies. No. But it's a really cool concept to have an Iron Man, because that's the only thing that would have stopped Howard Stark from building an Iron Man suit would have been the inability of the technology to power it. Because an Iron Man, it's all powered by Stark tech. So a really fun sequence. My favorite sequence is when you've got Captain Carter teeing up with the Hydra Stomper, Steve Rogers, and he's and they're teaming up, and the battles are just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely. And it was just so much fun to have them together as that dynamic. I said to myself, I'd actually watch a film of those two, But a lot of fun scenes. Her introduction, great. The battle with the Nazis Hydra's coming down to deliver the Tesseract to the Red Skull, and she interrupts. Absolutely phenomenal. What about you, Rick? What are some of your favorite scenes?
I like the whole lot. I like the actual style of the animation as well. I think it's a 2D kind of animation, which they call it, and it just feels like you're watching like a. Right. You're flipping through a comic book. It's so good.
It's 3D, but it's cell shaded technology.
Is that what it? Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about the animation style, Rick. You've actually brought up an excellent point. It's like a hybrid of Don Bluth animation. Now, if you don't know who Don Bluth is, check him out. Think of An American Tail, All Dogs Go to Heaven. Then it's also got a mix of like Iron Giant, Brad Bird, kind of Warner Brothers. style of animation mixed in with, I think, a touch of Disney. And you've got this really unique looking, timeless looking kind of feel of animation, which I thought was top notch. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on. What else did you like?
But but it was good. Like, because, essentially it is the first Avenger, the plot points all crammed in like a 30-minute show. And it was just done so well. And I love that little montage that they had when they played it with the old style 50s band music, and they're going through and she's kicking ass and Steve's doing his thing as well. And I like some of the old quick little one-liners which they had, and it was funny in some moments as well, which was really good. I think that was delivered well. But it was nicely paced. You know what I mean? It was just well paced and it didn't drop off anywhere. So kudos. It started off really, really well. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So
like the fight scenes, especially the way they animated them, where you it's very rare in animation that you can actually feel the punches and that. When she's delivering some of those beatings, it was done so well. You could kind of almost feel that she was just knocking these guys around left, right, and center. Absolutely kind of fantastic. Yeah. Look, it's is it as strong as the movies? Of course not. Are there some issues with it? Yeah, kind of. Like there are little bits and pieces here that didn't seem to make continuity sense to me. A couple of things that Captain Carter said at the end, like, she goes, which I do love with the ending, obviously spoilers, where she does jump forward to the future, just like Captain America did. She ends up in the SHIELD facility that was out of the Avengers movie. So when Loki arrived in the Avengers, she arrives in that same spot. Nick Fury goes, "Oh, you've jumped 70 years into the future." And she goes, "We won the war." Well, how did you know that? How did you know that? You just got transported. He said you were 70. He never said that they won the war. So they're little picky things. So I think it was a good, strong outcome for what is, this is a big risk for Marvel. They're not going to get the viewership, Rick, that they would have get with a Loki or something. Because a lot of people, when it comes to animation, they're like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not even giving this a crack. I don't like animation. But I think, I think they started with a good start. Yeah.
I think it's off to a good start. I just think hopefully we can see more of the episodes when they're, not as, gets following the, like this one was the first Avenger, and then kind of like, that plot scene.
I don't think they'll do that. Different. Yeah.
If they keep going in that way, maybe not. But if they do something a bit different, would be good. And then seeing everyone together as well. We see these different storylines.
Yeah, that's right. And that's what the beauty of this show is, isn't it, Rick? I mean, next week's a completely new story with new characters, something totally different. But I will say in the episode, it was good. I did not have an issue with them jumping. Like the fact that they met at similar story points that they did in the first Avenger actually was a strength for the show. Like them going to go what they think is capture Red Skull on the train, which ends up being a trap. It's obviously reminiscent of that scene from Captain America where we lose Bucky. But in this one, she grabs him. And I love the line where he kind of jumps onto the train, looks like he's going to fall off like he did in the movie. She grabs him, pulls him up, and he goes, "Oh, you almost ripped my arm off." I did like that. I did enjoy that quite a bit. So, I mean, like, I don't know what more to say, Rick. If I was to rate it, and I'm not really about giving ratings, but it's around a 7 out of 10 first episode, I dug it. I'll definitely keep watching. They're not holding back with the quality of what they're doing, even in animation, you can tell, well, this is this kind of level that Marvel bring to every kind of project they do, Mind you, there was a little bit of language in this episode, which I was surprised. So they're not going for the kids.
Yeah.
There was a couple of times they swore. Yeah. Even in German, Schneider and shit, Dan, I'm like, so they aren't targeting the young kids. They're targeting, I think, the 10-year-old up.
10 to 90 range, basically. So, excuse me. Yeah, loved it, digged it, thought it was awesome.
Yeah, I agree, mate. Hugo Weaving, we were talking about. I thought he was Red Skull. That voice, I thought it was.
No, but I don't know if that was the gentleman that played in Endgame. I mean, I could probably research that. Go on, keep going.
But yeah, like I said, it's off to a great start. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely gonna be watching more of it, and I recommend everyone to just definitely jump on board and check it out because it is a fun animated. Well, the first one was good, so I
can confirm that voice actor who played Red Skull, Ross Marquand, was the guy that played him in Infinity War.
Okay,
and Endgame, Red Skull. So the guy who ended up replacing Hugo Weaving was the guy who did the voice.
Same. I thought.
Yeah, he did in the movie as well. The movie worked really well.
You wouldn't have picked it. Wow. Okay.
No. Yeah, very cool. Very cool. So obviously. Yeah, go on.
Sorry. Does anyone know why they're not like Steve Rogers wasn't played by Chris Evans? And does anyone know the reason? They probably were like,
look, we've got our contracts, we're done. I mean, they were both always very firm on what their contracts were, you know. So look, I don't have an issue with that. I mean,
I just
they gave us so much. If they're not a voice in the animated show, then you know. Yeah. You know what I was thinking about today, randomly? This is a bit of an offshoot, randomly. I was thinking about how they're going to be doing that is it Ironheart? They're doing Ironheart show, right?
Mm.
You know, which is based on a young woman who builds a tech suit, but almost better than almost more advanced than what Tony Stark built. And I'm thinking to myself, do you think they will have Gwyneth will be back and John Fav would be back? And that's a random thought for this episode.
That is, mate.
But it is an MCU random thought, so I thought I would share it. But I'm thinking about that.
Knows? They might. We haven't seen much of her. She's been here and there, but you know.
Yeah, I wonder if she would come back. Well, everyone's kind of out at this point, and it's a completely standalone, you know.
This is Marvel, dude. Could be. Who knows with Marvel?
Well, we do know. We did get some news today that both Captain Marvel 2 is in production, and Ant-Man in the Quantumania movie has finished filming.
Nice.
So you know, good news there. So things are moving along. But we're not talking about that. Let's talk about again. What if? Now, the thing I do want to talk about next week, Rick, is we are going to go back to the proper timeline. This week, we had a stuttered start. We do apologize for that. But I can confirm next Wednesday night and every Wednesday night for season 1, we will be back. We'll be talking about the show within 2 to 3 hours of it airing on Disney Plus. We'll be doing our live after show. So, thanks for your patience for this week and next week. Do you know what the episode is about next week?
No, I don't actually.
I'm purposely not looking it up.
I don't want to.
I kind of want to be surprised each week when it comes up on Disney Plus, the subject matter. But they really did show a lot of that one with T'Challa and Guardians of the Galaxy. So I bet you that's what that one is next week or the week after. That'll be an early episode. So yeah. But we haven't. If you think about the trailers for this series, they've shown a lot, but they haven't shown you a lot. A lot of stuff.
This first episode was mostly in the first trailer as well.
Yeah, this one and the one with they were showing the T'Challa and the Avengers one, and I feel like they were showing. I feel like I've seen a little bit Doctor Strange as well.
He was a little bit in there.
Yeah, but yeah, no, wonderful, great, good start. You know, we'll see how next week goes, Rick. Is there anything more you wanted to add about this episode?
It's just great to we had that break and you know every show is unique in its way. You know, we WandaVision and Loki and Captain and Winter Soldier. You know, it's all different, and this brings another different uniqueness to Marvel. And I'm just really excited to have an animated series because I was really looking forward to this. So good things are definitely coming.
If anything, I would hope because I'm already built in to like and enjoy animated
Yeah.
content, but not everyone is. So if they were able
No.
to, Rick, get those people who normally wouldn't watch animated shows and watch this stuff,
Correct.
that would be a big win, because I think
Fair enough.
people, once they get into it, really, really dig this show. So in
Yeah,
saying that,
get
Rick,
on it.
we're going to end it. We're going to see you next Wednesday at 7:30, our local time here in Adelaide. Check your local mobile phone and work out what the time difference is or whatever.
Yeah, wherever you are around the world.
We have no idea.
That's it.
Actually, I could, you know what? Let's figure it out right now. I can do this. I've got my mobile phone in front of me.
All right, so the
bring
3
up the
people that are
clock.
on now, just let us know where you
Yeah,
are.
we're going to let
around
them
the
know
world.
the 3 people. So right now, if we started at 20 minutes ago, that is actually 6 o'clock in the morning in New York City. Or
Beautiful
we're
time.
3 o'clock in the morning in Los Angeles.
So, all right, guys, do it. Fantastic.
Yeah. Obviously, we're the other side of the world. We can't help that. So
No
yeah.
better
Anyway.
way to start the morning.
No better way to start the morning.
It's in the morning. Watch us.
You watch us. All right. So thanks,
Yeah,
guys. Now we know we're going to get such low numbers on this bloody show. But there you go. All right, guys. Thanks for
it's all good.
watching. We
Appreciate
will
it.
see you next Wednesday.
There you go.